Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Essence of Elise. Today I'm just going to quickly just share with you a little bit about my journey with having a planned C-section this time versus a emergency C-section the first time. So everyone, yay! Look at my Mr. Tai Tai. This is Mr. Tai Tai. Mwah, my little pride and joy. Okay, babe. Thank you. Okay. So I had already knew, oh, you want the boopy? So I had already known that, like, after going through what I went through with my first C-section, that I was definitely opting in for a planned C-section the next time, just for health reasons. So I was scheduled to have my C-section on May 29th. 2018, but actually I started having contractions. Oh, he just threw up. Oh, I'm gonna keep this rolling just so you guys can see like what it's like being like a whole mom right now. Okay, hold on, what we got here? Yes. Okay, I'm actually in my daughter's nursery because I actually have a 1.5-year-old. I'm actually in her nursery filming because it has the best light. I ruined my clothes, which is okay. So if y'all see me and I look a little wet and this is pink and it's not blue, it is what it is. Okay, so like I said, I knew that I was going to be having a C-section, on a planned C-section on the date, but I actually went into labor, and it was very light labor on Memorial Day, May 28th. So where's the bottle? So I rolled in, and I think a planned, oh my goodness, you just hold on y'all, let me get my baby. Hold on, baby. Okay. All right, he wants the boob. Okay. So I rolled into my hospital, and at first they were like trying to determine if they even wanted to take the baby that day or wait the next day. But my doctor didn't care. Like, as soon as she saw that I was in labor and I was already dilating, she was like, listen, I can either take the baby now or you're going to call me at 1 a.m. saying that you need to come, you know, you're in full labor and this baby's coming. So she just opted to take the baby then. So I came in, I checked into the hospital, and then, you know, they did my vitals and stuff like that, and they did my IV, and next they did the cervix check. Honestly, that is, I just hate it. Like, I just hate it. Like, I was like, ugh, like grunting the whole time, like until the doctor was done checking to see how many centimeters dilated I am. That to me was almost one of the worst parts of pregnancy, and it still is. It was for my first, and it is for Tyson. I just hate that part. But anyways, they did that, and then, like I said, they determined that they were going to take the baby then. So they were trying to get me prepped. Now, I had happened to eat beforehand because I didn't know the baby was coming. So just a rule of thumb, if you have any inkling that your baby's coming, and you know it's a scheduled C-section and the C-section date, the baby's coming earlier than the scheduled C-section date, just stop eating immediately, because I had, I think, like a little piece of bagel and I drank water, and because of that we had to wait a good 5 hours in order to even like start the C-section process. So we waited, everyone came down, like it was like clockwork, like it was just like a tight ship. And I guess because it was Memorial Day, it was really quiet in the maternity ward, which is great. So they gave my husband his clothes to put on, and then they basically rolled me into the room, and that's where, so my husband wasn't allowed to go with me. So the first C-section though, I was allowed to hold him while they were giving me an epidural, but this time they did a spinal tap, and I'm not sure the differences between the two, but I hear that the spinal tap is it's like a block for like 12 hours, whereas the epidural, like they're still like pumping, they have to actively pump medicine into you. So I had the spinal tap. It was painful, at least to me. Now, I'm a stickler for pain, so it was painful. If you can handle contractions, though, you can definitely handle a spinal tap. So they basically was just like, you know, hunch over, and I had to hunch over onto the nurse in the operating room. And then they gave me like, felt like almost like 3 needles in my back. Even though the guy said it was just 1, but it felt like 3 needles in my back in different locations of my back, my spinal area. Then after that, they basically said, okay, well, you know, you're all done. Now let's just lay down. And I laid down, and as they were, you know, the standard, oh, duh, you guys, some of you guys don't know. So they put the sheet up, and they just start to prep themselves for, I guess, your surgery. So they're doing that. That takes about like 10 to 15 minutes. They took the razor. They said, we're going to shave you now. So they started shaving me. Now, what's going on in my mind right now? Like, I'm fine. Like, I'm chilling. I'm just laying on the bed. I did have my phone with me. I'm sorry. My husband came in later with my phone. So once I was pretty much prepped. Sorry. You done, Tyson? Once I was pretty much prepped, they told my husband that he can come back into the operating room. So he was all dressed. He had my phone, and he was kind of recording everything. After that, they started. They said, okay, Brianna, we're going to start now. And it was basically similar to my first. My first was a little bit more traumatic. I was shaking uncontrollably for my first C-section, which was scary, but I heard that you shake because it's super freezing in the room. This guy had, oh, yes, baby. This guy had the heat on for me. Like, it was really toasty. So I wasn't shaking like the first C-section that I had. So, I just lost my train of thought. Yeah, so they start cutting me open. Again, like, you don't feel anything. My husband was just talking to me the whole time. Like, yo, like, we're really about to have a baby. Oh, my God, this is amazing. Like, your life is about to change forever. Just so everyone knows, I do have, like I said, I do have a daughter who's 1.5 years. So we were just kind of reminiscing on, like, yo, our life is about to get so real. But it is what it is. So soon after, you start, like, feeling, like, this shaking sensation, because you know, like, they're cutting you open, right? So, and you're awake. So you're literally, your body starts to shake like this. And it just feels like someone's just pushing you, right? That's really all you're feeling. And then, so you feel a lot of that for like a couple minutes. And then when they get ready to lift the baby out of you, this time, I literally, because your arms are like stretched out on this like holder thing for your arm. So like when she was like, okay, we're about to lift the baby out, you feel like this funnel of pressure going up, like literally. So I was like, like, I literally was so dramatic. And like my husband was just looking at me like, you good? But I was just like, like, I don't know why I couldn't really like catch my breath too much. And she was like, we're almost done. It didn't hurt or anything. It was just, it just felt like, yeah, just pressure moving upward and pulling you up, because the baby and everything is coming out of you. I don't know. It must be like the air pressure thing or something. So she pulls the baby out of me, and he's nasty. It was just, you know, but it was amazing, of course. And, you know, I'm crying, and I just knew, I didn't think I was going to cry because I'm not really a softie like that, but I'm crying, and I'm like, yo, like, I have 2 babies. Like, just a couple months ago, well, I feel like just 2 years ago, I was crying because I couldn't get pregnant, and just all this, and now, like, I'm staring at my son. Like, I now have a daughter, I have a son, I can be done, thank you, Jesus. Right? So it was just amazing. So my husband went over to the side area where they're, you know, taking the baby's weight and heart and stuff like that. So he's over there taking pictures and hanging out with the baby. And she starts to sew me up. Now, the difference between my first C-section. So my first C-section, I had the individual stitches done. And honestly, like, my doctor only took like 30 minutes to sew me up, and I had a really, really, really rough healing time my first pregnancy. And I don't know if it was because he just didn't take his time. I had a male doctor versus female. Like I said, I don't know if that's something, but hey, it was. So I don't know if he just didn't take his time with sewing me up or whatever the case may be, or it just could have been my first and I had nothing to expect. But my healing time for my first C-section was way worse than my healing time for my second C-section, like by night and day. So she took, when I say she took her time, like, I was on the table, it felt like I was on a table for like an hour and a half. And I'm like, I'm thinking something's wrong because of what I experienced the first C-section, right? It was just in and out. Boom, baby was here and I was done. I was in the healing room, the recovery room. But with this time, it was just, it took longer. Like, I literally was texting on the table, like texting my friends, like, yeah, I'm open on the table right now, like, what's going on? Like, so she was like, yeah, we're almost done. Like, she was completely, the doctor wasn't worried at all. So what she did, and if you're having a scheduled C-section, I highly recommend, so see if your doctor will do this. So my C-section, I developed a keloid maybe like 7 or 8 weeks after I healed up. So what she did was she took the keloid off. I didn't even know that was a thing. She took the keloid off and she injected some type of something into me, and she was like, it's supposed to prevent you from keloiding, right? So she put that in me, and then she used staples. So like, just even like, first of all, staples just sound like it's like something that they used to use like 20 years ago. So I was definitely a little nervous. She was like, don't worry, it's going to heal up beautifully, stuff like that. So she did use staples instead of the other thing. And honestly, like, I'm so happy she did what she did. I'm not saying that you'll have the same results, but there literally is no scar. Like, I don't know what she did, but there literally is no scar, which is awesome sauce. So I'm super happy that she did take so long to sew me up, and she did really give my body that TLC that I think it needed. Now I'll definitely give an update to see whether or not it does end up keloiding, because again, mine took a couple weeks to keloid, so I'll let you know if that happens. So okay, so she sews me up, I go into the the recovery room, I'm hanging out with the baby, I'm breastfeeding. This time around is way more relaxed because you know exactly how to be a mom, and you're an awesome mom anyway. So like, you literally just like, hand me this baby, slap him on my boob, and we're just hanging out, I'm brushing his hair, like, you know, like, it's way more relaxed. I'm super enjoying being a mom, by the way, of under two. I think it's because maybe of like my personality, now that I know what I'm doing. Oh, he fell asleep. But super enjoying it. So as you know, or you may not know, so as soon as they brought me into the the recovery room, I hung out in there for like an hour and a half to bond with the baby, me and my husband. And then I was rolled up to my room, and I basically just hung out there. They would come every couple hours to just check my vitals, make sure, you know, my blood pressure wasn't going up or anything like that. They gave me pain meds, and this time they gave me some super strong stuff. I think it was like hydrocodone, or I don't know. My sister's a nurse, and she said it is like one of the higher pain meds that they give. They didn't give me that the first time, so she was like, just be really careful, because you know, with this epidemic of people getting hooked on pain meds, just please, if you do get the hydrocodone, whatever it's called, just be careful. Try to take more Tylenol than that medication. Like I said, I really was only taking it in the beginning like twice a day, and then by the 4th day I was done taking it. So even though they wrote me a prescription for it home, I didn't take it at all once I got home, and that was day 3. So I was up and moving so they make you get up 12 hours after. before my first C-section, I was like huffing and puffing. This C-section, I knew like, no, I need to be up and moving because I have a full toddler at home and I really can't afford to just be like chilling in the bed waiting 3 weeks to heal. So I really just kept that in my head, like, yes, it's going to hurt. Yes, it's going to be uncomfortable, but you'll get through it. And it was like, it's not some huge pain because you're on pain meds, right? So you get up, you won't be able to stand. They tell you to stand as upright as you can, which hurts. I didn't like that part, but once you are upright, it feels so much better. It only hurts for a couple minutes, and then they just tell you, you know, let's walk to the bathroom. So they took your catheter out, and now it's time for you to walk to the bathroom. Don't expect to pee right after you have your catheter out. I think they give you like 8 to 10 hours to pee or something like that after they take your catheter out. So I couldn't pee, but I did walk to the bathroom. And then I walked back to my bed. You know, someone's helping you at all times. And literally the process just repeats itself for the next 2 days. Well, you're there for 3 nights. So for the next 3 nights, again, they're going to come in all hours of the night to check your vitals. They're going to say, you know, are you walking? So my best advice, get up and walk. By day 2, I was walking to the, they have like a play area because my daughter came and saw me. So I was walking to the play area with her. Just take your time, walk. If you feel like you're overdoing it, you probably are. So sit down. You're doing too much. But just try your best. Try your best to get moving because honestly, you will feel so much better. Like, you're not supposed to do this, but like I was up and down the steps literally by like my first day home, like chilling, like walking up the steps. And I know you're not supposed to do this, but I needed to go upstairs for something, so I just went and I was fine. It didn't hurt. So now, right now, today actually, I am 3 weeks postpartum, and I am going to do like a mini C-section series just so you can see kind of like how I'm healing, what my belly's looking like, which I'm very happy with the progress of my belly. I've been doing a couple different things, so definitely look out for those videos just on just post C-section life. So what else? I think that's really it. That's just my C-section story. Like I said, a planned C-section, your mindset is just so different. You're so chill. And I think that really helps. Like it helps a lot. It helped me a lot at least. And I hope it helps you. Sorry, I'm trying to think of what else from my C-section story. I mean, I think that's all the main points that you're really interested in. Like I said, the healing, you know, I was fully off pain meds, so I had the baby on Monday. So I'm sorry my camera died on you guys, but basically, you know, C-section, just in closing, C-section number 1 was way worse to me than having a scheduled C-section. So I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know if you have any, you know, personal questions, just so, and I'll definitely respond to your comments below. As always, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you later.